All right. Hello and welcome everyone to the Beyond Books Serving the Whole Patron webinar. My name is Beth Yates. I'm the children's consultant from the Indiana State Library's Professional Development Office. I will be the host and question moderator for you today. And our presenter today is Sarah Morbitzer, Children's Department Head at the North Manchester Public Library here in Indiana. Just a few announcements for you first. To register for other webinars or other trainings available from the Professional Development Office, please see the Indiana State Library's events calendar, which can be found on our website at www.in.gov/library, and it's under Services for Libraries. This session is 1 hour, so you're eligible to receive 1 LEU for this presentation. And if you're watching a recording of this webinar, instructions on how to obtain your LEU are in the video's description on YouTube. Or you can find those instructions on ISL's continuing education site under LEU policies. But in short, when you watch a recording, your director or someone in HR should create a certificate for you, as they're the ones who can verify that you watched. Okay, I think we are ready to get started. Again, our presenter today is Sarah Morbitzer. We're thrilled to have her. Take it away, Sarah.
All right, thank you, Beth. I'm so excited to be here with all of you. I apologize for my voice. I've been dealing with a cold since Saturday. Hopefully you can hear me okay. I've been involved in libraries since the time I was tiny. My parents would always take me to the library at least once a week to get books, and I would read them voraciously. I started volunteering at the North Manchester Public Library when I was 10 and got my first job here when I was 14. So libraries have been a huge part of my life. I just love everything they can do for people. It's not just the books, as so many of you know. There's so much more we offer our communities, and we are very much the center of our communities. And it's neat to find ways to help out the people in your area and meet them where they're at. So I'm from the town of North Manchester, and let me make sure my screen will advance. All right, it looks like it's not doing that, so just give me a second here. There we go. All right, so the town of North Manchester has a population of 5,277 people, according to the latest census. That actually dropped quite a bit. We were over 6,000 at the last census. Over 7% speak a language other than English at home, and 8% identify as Black, Pacific Islander, or Hispanic. 13% of households do not even have a computer, and 20% lack broadband internet access. And those numbers are probably even higher if we get out into the rural areas. Internet in the kind of more the country areas surrounding North Manchester is very spotty, very hard to get decent internet. And we do serve a lot of those people. Many of them do come to our library. Either they get non-resident cards or they just come and use our resources. And then high school graduation rates are 87%. Only 25% of the population has a bachelor's degree or higher. 10% of the population is in poverty, and 8% does not have health insurance. 6% of residents under the age of 65 have a disability. And then the per capita income for the last 12 months is less than $24,000, just under that. So we're very aware that even though our community is very wonderful, very warm, a great place to live, it doesn't have a lot of resources. Especially compared to maybe a larger city or a much bigger town. There's only so much our town is able to offer. So we've, over the last 5 years especially, have really developed areas of impact. So sensory needs, accessibility, curiosity and learning, life skills, physical activity, food security, necessities / quality of life, and experiences. And so these are the things we really strive to offer our patrons. Besides just the books and the DVDs and the magazines and the newspapers, we just want to help the whole patron and partner with them. Honestly, it's not all us. As you'll see, we rely on many community partnerships and other people to help us do these things. So first is sensory needs. We have some amazing patrons who interact with the world in different ways. Maybe they have Down syndrome, maybe there was birth trauma and they have cerebral palsy. Maybe they have autism, maybe they have depression, maybe they have low vision or low mobility. It can be any number of things. And so whatever it is that they have in their life that makes maybe interacting with their environment a little more challenging, we want to do what we can to meet them where they're at and make sure they feel welcome. So in February of 2022, we started our Sensory to Go collection. These are items specifically for kids who have sensory input needs, though they're welcome, anyone is welcome to use them and access these materials. And so we really wanted to make sure kids who come to the library and maybe need something to self-soothe or to calm themselves, or maybe they are understimulated and they're seeking some kind of form of stimulation, we want to give them options, things they can interact with, things that they can take home with them and use at home as well. So we put together kits. These are boxes that can be checked out from the library or used here at the library, are all about texture and interactive kits. Those are full of fun fidgets, all kinds of things like the stretchy noodles, the click tracks, the expandable balls, noise makers, pin art, squishy balls, bubble balls. These are some of our most popular items. They're constantly getting checked out. A kit comes back and someone else checks it out again. It comes back, someone else checks it out again. These have been getting a ton of use from our patrons. We also put together Sweet Dreams Relax kits with liquid motion bubblers, noise reducing headphones, weighted lap blankets, quiet books, and like soothing nature sound nightlight. So maybe a child who has trouble getting to sleep, what are some items that can help soothe and calm so they can sleep well? And then Nothing Wrong with Help. That kit is full of adaptive aids, Tiny Talker 2, Flexi nose cups, a couple different kinds of adaptive holders for things like toothbrushes and forks and things like that. For a lot of families, if you have a child who has different needs, special needs, differently abled, I know there's a bit of a debate now about what's the best language to use, and I don't feel like that's been settled yet. I'm going to kind of use both terms. It can be very expensive. You may get all kinds of recommendations. Well, try this, we'll use this. Well, this may help your child. But if it doesn't, then you've just bought something on your already strained budget that is of no use to you. And so we want to do what we could to help our families. So we put together items that they can come in, they can check out, they can try it for a couple of weeks and see if it actually works or not before they invest their own money in it. And we've had several people tell us that they've used it for exactly that. One parent called me and said, you know, I wanted to try the noise canceling headphones because I was told they might help my child. I was like, did they? And they said no. I'm like, great, now you know. And the parent was like, yes, exactly, I didn't spend the money on it. You know, I was able to try it out because you guys had it available. I didn't spend the money and then have this set of headphones laying around and it didn't do anything. But we've had other parents who come and say, oh, this works so well for my child. One mom who was pregnant, she got some of our kids and she said, this was a lifesaver when I was pregnant because I could give it to my little boy, I could lay down and rest, and he would just play for hours with these items. And it makes us so happy to hear that these things are helping our patrons. Another part of our Sensory to Go is frustration-free building. So for kids who have, maybe just because they're young, or they may have hand-eye coordination challenges or motor issues, building with traditional building blocks can be frustrating. You stack things up, they fall apart. You try to put them together, it tumbles over. So things like Picasso tiles, magnet tiles, wedges, brain flakes, these are things that are designed to hold together. The way they're put, it's very easy to get them to hold together. And we want kids to have those wins when they're building and constructing. It's a really good early introduction to STEM. So we want kids to have the opportunity to build, to construct, to create the ideas they have in their mind. But if their building materials aren't working for them, they're going to get frustrated, they're going to give up. So with these frustration-free building options, it gives kids those I can do it moments. Hey, I had an idea to build a house, and with the Magna-Tiles, I built that house. Or I wanted to make a tree, and with the brain flakes, I was able to make a tree. These also have been checked out quite a bit. We have a lot of patrons who come in and get them. And what I'm really excited to see is we have a lot of repeat borrows. So that means it's really working for people and their kids. So they're coming back and getting them again. And then we have a variety of miscellaneous items. We have our weighted microwavable salmon in the sloth, which is super cute. A good, nice, soothing item for kids. We also have the liquid fusion tiles, the floor tiles, which are real good for those gross motor activities, encouraging kids to jump around and play and squish and all that kind of stuff. So people are able to check those out, take them home, or even play with them here at the library when they're here for a visit. And of course, we want to make sure parents are fully equipped, caregivers are fully equipped with the tools they need. So we have our special sensory collection of books on everything from anxiety to Asperger's to autism to fostering connections between children and nature. That can be very beneficial. Books about neurodiversity, sensory processing disorder, childhood trauma. All of these can be connected to sensory processing disorders, different things like that. So we want parents to have the knowledge that they need to help their kids thrive, grow, live a full, happy life. We also have books for kids in this collection. Our emotion books are really great picture books and stories for kids who are dealing with big emotions. How do you deal with anger when you just feel so angry? How do you deal with sadness? How do you deal with worry or fear? And then also we get a lot of touch and feel books. So this kind of builds off the kids who really benefit from that sensory input. Those touch and feel books have like the silicone touch and feel items like Rosie Greening's Never Touch a series are fantastic for that. Those get checked out a lot too. And we just really want to make sure we provide everything possible for our patrons in this area. And then we also recently updated our computer lab here in the children's department. We got these fidget stools and they help reduce restlessness and fidgeting. So the design is made for that, that rocking, that moving back and forth, that twisting around in a way that doesn't ruin the chair. We had so many of our seat backs of our older chairs that were just cracked between the seat and the back because the kids are always leaning back on them. So these have been really great because they can move around, they can fidget, the chair's not going anywhere, it's not going to break. And it's been really good for us to have in our computer lab. So again, it's maybe a small change. We had to get new chairs anyway because so many of them were cracked. Why not get something that works for those kids who have that extra energy and those extra fidgets that they need to get out? Since we have to get something anyway, let's get something that works for everyone. And then our ball pit, we debuted this in January of 2022, and this is probably one of our most popular items here at the library. They're really good for kids who want to have fun, but they've also been helpful for people who have different developmental challenges. They're very good for relaxation, but also for stimulation. The balls massage the entire body, it provides that support, also deep pressure sensation, encourages relaxation. So we have a lot of kids who come in and they just run straight to the ball pit and just hop right in there. And they just have the best time playing in there. We have kiddos with special needs who like to use it as well, and their families will bring them in. And there's one little girl who I remember shortly after we got it, her mom brought her in and she was definitely fussy, having a hard day. And her mom put her in the ball pit, and within a very short amount of time, she had calmed and was relaxed and was happy again. It's so neat to see that. And we just got like, basically it's like one of those pools that you can get for your pets because they're very sturdy, kind of the collapsible sides. It's actually like a dog pool, but it's a really good size, fairly deep. Bought a bunch of balls and tossed them in. And it's been a huge hit with everyone. Now, kind of tied into this is accessibility. So we want people who come to the library to find it easy to use, easy to navigate. We want them to find materials that speak to them. that they are able to use to read. What's the good of a whole bunch of books if you can't even read them? So we've been able to hit this in a couple different ways. In November of last year, we got our wheelchair accessible outdoor table, comfortably seats 3 wheelchair users and 3 non-wheelchair users all at the same time. And I love this design because it's not sticking somebody at the end of the table. Everyone's together around the table. Everyone's brought into the circle. Really happy with this design. Thrilled we were able to get it. And this was very much a community effort. So our patrons of all ages helped us collect 550 pounds of plastic caps and lids. And we were collecting for months, but they were so excited to do it. We had little kids who would come in with their little baggies. We had older people who were like, I've been saving every cap and lid I can bring in. I had a couple guys tell me like, this is so exciting. I get so excited when I finish up a container because then I know I can bring you a cap and lid. So the community really embraced this project. And then with the help of our local FFA, we were able to deliver those 550 pounds of caps and lids to Green Tree Plastics, which is here in Indiana. And they take those caps and lids and turn them into tables, benches, chairs. They have a wide variety of designs. So you can get little kids tables and chairs. You can get stuff for adults. You can get the design we had. It could just be a bench, outdoor seating. And because it's made of this plastic, it's going to last a long time. We had a beautiful wooden bench outside. In fact, it's still outside in one of our areas, but it's definitely degrading. They only last so long. These should last a really long time. And it also helps with recycling. We were able to cover the cost of it through a local memorial fund that was set up in honor of the library, the Ann Garber Memorial Fund. And it did cost money, but it was much less than if we'd had to buy it straight out because we were providing the raw material, those caps and lids, that really brought down the cost for us. And we love knowing that we were able to keep all of that plastic out of the landfill. And it was a really neat thing for the community too, because so many of them said, I hate throwing all these things away. I'm so thrilled I've got a place that I can bring them and it's going to actually do something and help something, not just end up in a landfill. And then we're also able occasionally to offer American Sign Language classes. And this is a great example of something where it's worth doing even if you can't do very much. There's a local college student who volunteered to do these during breaks. So we've maybe been able to have like 3 of these, but that's okay. You may not be able to offer everything you want as often as you want, but even if we can do it a little bit, the people who are able to attend learn a skill or are able to hone a skill they're already trying to learn. And then we can hopefully encourage continued learning and practice through the books and movies we have here at the library. And it's been really neat for the young kids to come to and realize, you know, some people, if they may not be able to talk, that doesn't mean you can't communicate with them. So it's really good for raising that awareness among the younger kids as well. And it's one of those things, it's not going to be a permanent programming piece because no one on staff is trained in this, but we had a college student who was going to college for this. This was the major and everything. It just worked out great to be able to offer it a few times. And then we also want to make sure that books are available for all the kids. So we have a juvenile vision collection, and these are books for kids who want or need to read through touch. So if it's a kid who really needs that sensory input, we have things like the Follow Me series and the Touch and Feel mazes. If it's someone who's low vision or no vision, we have this series of DK Braille books. So where whatever it is, if it's low vision, if it's sensory input, there are books here at the library too. It's not just going to be books with words on the page, and not to mention, of course, the state's consortium through Overdrive with Libby. So for those auditory learners, the ebooks, the audiobooks through Libby have been fantastic for many of our patrons as well. I'm sure a lot of your libraries belong to that. And then for older kids who are reading chapter books, we really work to grow our large print juvenile titles. So Thorndike puts out gorgeous editions of all the, well, not all, but quite a few of the most popular books, but they do it in large print. But they format the books and size them in such a way that they look just like the regular print copy. So it's nothing that stands out and makes a kid feel awkward because they're carrying this ginormous book around. Same size, same covers as the others. There is a bit of delay in publishing. So for example, the newest Diary of a Wimpy Kid, I had to wait about 5 months after it was originally released before we got it here at our library. But it was worth it to me to do that wait because I wanted us to get the large print edition. As often as possible, I get the large print editions. We're up to about 100 in our collection right now since we started doing this a couple years ago. And I was just talking to one of the kids who comes into the library, and I showed them to him. He was here with a homeschool group on a tour, and he was so excited. He's like, this is the kind of book I need because if I read and I don't have my glasses, it makes my head hurt. He goes, but I can read this even if I don't have my glasses. Like, that's exactly what I want. I want books to be accessible to you, even if you have low vision, or if you're a striving reader. A lot of research shows that large print books are fantastic for striving readers. Kids who maybe struggle to pick up the words and the phonics and all of that, they have much higher rates of success in finishing books if it's those large print books with the bigger font, wider margins around the edge. So we want to make sure books are accessible to those kids as well. And then curiosity and learning, I'm a big believer in this. If you are excited to learn, you can learn. If you're not motivated to learn, then you're not going to learn. And so we really want to get kids excited about learning and to realize learning is fun and there's a whole world out there to explore. And hopefully we can spark some interest with some of the things we have and encourage them to explore on their own, not just in school, but we want them to be learning all the time. Okay, so we have our Homeschool to Go collection. This started in January of 2022. And we've got a variety of items in it. We've got our Van de Graaff generator, which the kids have a lot of fun using. We have games for smaller children where they can learn things like counting and their colors in a really fun way. Just all kinds of kids. It's not just for homeschoolers. It's anyone who is schooling at home, whether it's hybrid, whether it's helping kids with homework on the weekend, whether it's someone who's like, hey, I want my kids to avoid the summer slide. Let's make sure we're doing some fun learning things throughout the summer. Anyone can come in and check out these items and use them. So a few of the items we have base 10 blocks, learning wrap-ups, bucket balance scales, magnetic letters, Cuisenaire rods, magnetic tin frame, trifecta, rock tumbler kit, microscope, telescope, just all kinds of things that will help kids get excited about learning and also to make learning fun so they're motivated to keep doing it. And then books as well. We really want to make sure families who are teaching their kids at home, either because they're homeschooling or hybrid, or just want to help their kid who's maybe struggling in a certain area, have those resources they need. So we have things like, we try to get all the major schooling ideologies like Charlotte Mason, Montessori, unschooling, wild and free, and then also things like phonics, how to teach reading, how to help kids who have dyslexia, workbooks, just a variety of stuff so people can find the approach that works for them and their kids. So these books can be checked out. Parents can read about the different learning approaches, the different schooling options, and figure out, okay, what's something that can work for my child? What can we do at home to help them with their learning? And along those lines, we also hold a homeschool art program once a month during the school year. We usually have anywhere from 20 to 30 kids show up, all ages from kindergarten through high school. And we've been able to learn all kinds of things. Some of our themes, the Big Eyes art of Margaret Keane. We've done Jackson Pollock painting. We've done Beatrix Potter watercolors, then Elsa Schiaparelli in fashion design, learned about the Gee's Bend quilters. We learned about Greek and Roman mosaics, Maria Martinez and Pueblo pottery. And so kids are able to learn about these artists and then they get to actually do the art themselves. And I had one teenager tell me, I used to do a lot of art and then I really got out of it, but being in homeschool art has helped me start doing it again. And that was just so rewarding to hear. It's so exciting to see the kids go home and use these art skills they're learning and continue doing it even at home. We also do homeschool science, and this is another one of our community collaborations. So the local Purdue Extension office has been amazing to work with. I highly recommend reaching out to your local office if you haven't already. They have so many resources. They have people who are trained in different areas, and they have been fantastic. They help us do one homeschool science session a month during the school year. A few of them I've done myself, but quite a few of them have been in partnership with them. So we've done botany, molecular gastronomy, gumdrop wave machines, caterpillar hatching. In fact, one caterpillar hatched last night, another this morning. So I was running around before this, making sure they had their sugar water and everything, that the butterflies would be okay. Robotics and coding, muscle machines, egg drop science, circuit kits. So many things we've been able to offer to the homeschoolers through Purdue Extension. We also have a 3D printer, and we do 3D print clubs as well. So introducing kids to different forms of technology, teaching them how to use it, how to download designs, how to figure out how to adjust things on the plate to make it the size they want, and then to have a successful print. We had our second 3D printer club meeting this past week and had a great amount of kids come up. I think we had 12 kids of all ages. Very excited to learn about 3D printing and to get to try it out themselves. And again, it's just one of those things where it's fun because kids get to make like a little minifigure or a dice or some kind of little knickknack. And they think, oh, I'm getting to make something, but they don't realize they're learning STEM. So again, sparking that curiosity and learning. And then another resource I really want to let you know about is bedtime math. I actually learned about this probably about 5 years ago at a presentation similar to this. I don't even remember who the librarian was, but I thank her every year because bedtime math is amazing. You can register to be a coach, and it's quite easy to do so. And then they will send you a full packet of everything you need, except a few items like pencils and things like that, to run a successful 8-week program. And you can pick 2 different age groups, K through 2nd grade, 3rd through 5th grade. It's all about making math fun to kids. So for them to realize math isn't boring, math is a lot of fun, it's interesting, and it has real world applications. So we do a Crazy Eights math club for the 2 different ages at least once a year. The kids will always ask me, when are we doing Crazy Eights math again? Are you going to do that again? I want to do Crazy Eights math again. So it's definitely great for helping kids learn math, develop those skills, and to have fun doing it. And it's free too. And then we've also begun offering science labs with Manchester University. Their biology department reached out to us. One of the assistant professors is also a member of the Indiana Physiological Society. And she wanted to do these science labs for kids at our library. So we've done cardiovascular science, we've done muscular science, we've done the digestive system, and we're going to start up again the next school year. So it's great for our community because kids are coming and learning, they're interacting with 3D models, they're doing experiments, they're testing things out. Great for the Manchester University too, because their students are getting to teach the things they're learning in class, and they're having to plan out stations and run them successfully so the kids are able to learn. So that's been another really awesome community partnership. If you have a university or college in your area, that may be something that they would be willing to do with you as well. It's definitely key finding the right professor. If you can find a professor who's passionate about it, excited about it, it just works out so well. And then life skills too. We want to help our patrons learn the life skills they need to be successful in life. So Molly, our program coordinator, has started a series called Adulting 101. Teens, preteens have learned everything from folding laundry to car maintenance to freezer pleasers, saving money for college, mental health. We had therapy dogs come, gifts on a budget, fraud bingo. And this has been another partnership with Purdue Extension. They cover many of these topics. They have the slides, they have the presentations all ready to go. They have the manipulatives ready to go. Now, some of these Molly did teach and design herself, but quite a few of them were in partnership with the local Purdue Extension office. And another partnership with Purdue Extension has been Chef University. So with that, kids are learning everything from cleanliness and hygiene in the kitchen, safely handling knives, how to measure things, how to safely cook things, and then also trying out new foods and healthy eating. This has been, we've done this once so far. We had about 6 weeks of sessions of Chef University, very well attended. Kids were learning kitchen skills or refining kitchen skills they'd already picked up at home. And then also what I really loved about it was the way they're really encouraged to try something new. So every dish that they make, the encouragement is you got to eat, try it twice, try 2 bites before you decide if you don't like it or not. And because the kids are the ones making it, they're more likely to try it. So like the pesto pizza, you know, some kids initially, if you just handed them a piece of green pizza, they'd be like, ooh, what is that? Because they're the ones making the pesto and rolling it out and assembling the pizzas. They were excited to try it and they all loved it. And then Money Monsters is another free resource. So the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, you can actually go on their website and request the classroom books and the resources, the bookmarks, the posters for their Money Monsters program. This is financial literacy for elementary age kids. So we're right in the middle of this now. It's our first time doing it. We're about 5 weeks in. It's been great. So they provided us about 20 storybooks for each theme. So each week, the kids who come get another storybook about something like budgeting or giving or spending or starting a career or saving. And on the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau website, there are a bunch of activities that tie into each week's theme. So you're able to expand it. So we'll do a couple games that have to do about whatever our financial learning is. We'll read the story, we'll ask questions, we'll discuss. And the kids are really enjoying it. I'm having a blast doing it with them. They're learning things. A couple weeks ago, we talked about insurance. So now they know about the different kinds of insurance, homeowners, medical, etc. It's been really neat to see them kind of gain these skills in a fun way. And we also reached out to our local banks. We just stopped by and say, hey, do you have any bank swag you can give us? We're teaching kids financial literacy. So we've got mini piggy banks, we've got squishy balls, we've got pencils, we've got notebooks, we've got magnets, we've got tote bags. And we give these out to the kids each week as well and let them know, hey, there are places in town that you can go. There are banks in our community that can help you set up your own savings account where you can save your money. One of the sessions we did talk about, okay, how do you protect your things? If you have a lot of money, where is it safer to keep it? Is it better to keep it in a bank or is it better to keep it at home in your piggy bank? Did you know that the federal government will insure your savings up to $250,000? So even something were to happen to that bank, you would get your money back. And those are things the kids didn't know, but these are important life skills that they're gaining through this really fun program. Kind of connected to that is the Great Toy Swap. We've done it twice so far, have had great turnouts and feedback each time. Kids come and bring toys they no longer want or are using, and they get to set up their own little stations, and then they get to swap with each other and make trades. So these bartering and bargaining skills are perfect for the future when they're going to need to buy their own car or their own house. And they have so much fun doing it. It's hilarious to watch them go up to each other and be like, well, I've got this, will you trade it for this? Well, no, I don't want that, but what else do you have at your table? And they go around and they make these trades. And sometimes one kid A will trade with kid B. So kid A can go back and take what they got from kid B and trade it with kid C because kid C didn't want anything that kid A did. It's amazing to see how they work things out and the logic they use to be able to be like, okay, I want this toy. I can't get it this way. Is there another way I can use it? So they're really developing like those problem solving skills as well. And then physical activity is another really important area for us that we want to encourage. We want the kids and the parents and everyone who comes here to be healthy. And so we have a flat playground. It was installed in May of 2021. We have a large sidewalk leading up to one of our main entrances, and it features snakes and ladders, Foursquare, darts, twister, a lawn jump, and an 8-piece activity track. And so this has been great for encouraging physical activity. Of course, we've seen a lot of intergenerational play, kids and grandparents and parents all playing together. We've seen a lot of playing games together, like the Foursquare and the snakes and ladders. It's been really awesome for just that kind of that closeness. We have kids who come after school and they'll be like, hey, can I have the ball? And a group of them will go outside and they'll play Foursquare together. So it's actually helped us quite a bit with behavior issues, because kids can get really antsy after a while, especially if they've been in school all day. And with this, we have an outlet for them. They can go outside, they can play, they can blow off steam, have fun doing it. And we've seen a huge drop in behavior problems in the library since we got the flat playground. The beauty of this is it's also accessible. So kid breaks a leg at the beginning of summer, they're not completely out of things. They can come and do play these games because it's flat, it's on the ground. If you're really tiny and just starting to walk, you can join in because it's all flat. There's nothing to climb, there's nothing to hang off of. Everything's just flat right there on the sidewalk. So it's accessible for everyone. If you're in a wheelchair, a cast, if you're just learning to walk, and that's something that really excites me. It's become a real focal point. So our story times, a lot of them during the summer, we hold on the flat playground. Lego club, you may have kids who are younger or older, maybe they lose interest in Legos after a while. Well, then they just go play with the flat playground pieces. School groups come and do tours, and they always love to take time to play on the flat playground as well before they go back to school. Our summer events, a lot of them will hold out here, and we might have a picnic on the lawn before we have an entertainer do a puppet show. Well, in the in-between time, kids can run around and play on the flat playground. So it's really expanded what we're able to offer as far as activities to our patrons. Our little bookshop fundraiser, parents are browsing books, the kids are playing on the playground, they're happy, the parents are happy because they have time to browse the books as long as they want because the kids are occupied. And then our Halloween party, we try to hold it early enough in October that we can do things outside. So it's just another activity for kids to do when they're at the Halloween party. And then our night market that we had for the first time last year, we turned it into a glow-in-the-dark flat playground with glow-in-the-dark tape. That was a lot of fun for everyone. And we were featured on the EduMarking website. EduMarking is the company that does these kind of flat playground markings. And so it's also been good to kind of get the name of our library out there as well. Again, this is not something we could do on our own. We relied on a lot of community partners, several memorial funds. We had done a couple fun runs and funds from that, our friends of the library, and then EduMarking USA was really great working with us and giving us a good price for everything. Another area we want to tackle is food security. Poverty is an issue, as I mentioned before, for about 10% of the population. Average income is less than $24,000 a year. So we really want to make sure people have access to the things they need, and not just food, but things like diapers and tampons and toilet paper, shampoo. So our community pantry is a partnership with a local group who started it, and their purpose is solidarity, not charity. So this started in April of 2021. And so the purpose is to help people who are facing nutritional insecurity by providing easy 24/7 access to free and nutritious food. So anyone who needs food or supplies can take them. The idea is take what you need, leave what you can. Community members stock this. They stop by to clean it, restock it as needed. The library is simply the host site, and we do provide some oversight to make sure everything's running well. We update people if it's running low on items, but mainly the community is the one running it. But because we're such a community center, we're a perfect place for it to be hosted. So it was covered in the local newspaper. Very simple, just one of those shelved units that you can get at like a Menards or whatever. So it wasn't anything that was real expensive. The community members who started this, she's the one who bought it and put it together, and people have just really embraced this. So our local Kiwanis collects items, the local 4-H club, Tri Kappa, the local campground, they did a special fall festival, and one of the weeks they did a food drive, and they donated all those items to the community pantry. we've even had individuals donate like things to, like when they do the Nelson's barbecue pits and stuff, they bought tickets and asked us to put them in the pantry, and whoever wanted could come and get them, which I thought was so neat to give that option to people as well. And all ages collect for this. We've had kids, we've had grandparents, we've had people do neat things like put together birthday cake in a box with the frosting, the cake mix, the candle, and the pan. So if someone has a birthday party coming up and maybe the funds are tight, they can still, make sure their kid has a really great birthday cake. And another way we address food insecurity is with our Dirty Diggers program. That's our kids gardening program. The local historical society, who has a site next door, has raised beds that they let us use each year to plant things. We've also been able to get some containers, and we plant herbs, we plant vegetables, even some flowers. And we encourage the community, come and harvest what you need. So we'll see people out there picking peppers or picking cherry tomatoes. Eden Brothers is a seed company that saw what we were doing on Facebook and reached out to us and donated a bunch of seeds. Our seed catalog, you can kind of see this middle picture right here. We make seeds available in the seed catalog, again, donated by seed companies or patrons. Some patrons will but they'll get their own heirloom seeds and like harvest them and put together these like cute little packs. Other people just buy seed packs and put them in there. And people can come and get whatever they need for their at-home garden. It's free, you just take what you need. It's another way of addressing food insecurity because you can grow your own food. As far as teaching the kids in the educational component, kidsgardening.org is an amazing resource, lots of free resources, complete lesson plans, everything from pollinators to composting to like food festivals around the world, different cultural food traditions, so many awesome resources that we've been able to use to help teach our kids how to garden, how to grow, and the cultures of the food cultures around the world too. Yesterday, we had our first plant and seed swap. So we hosted this and invited people to come and bring plants that they had too much of, and then trade them with each other. Or if they didn't have anything to trade, just to come and get them. So this was our first one we've ever did. We had 40 people come, all ages. They had a great time. And we had one mom say, I'm redoing things in my yard. I want to garden this year, but I'm trying to do it for very little cost. And this helped me so much. I was able to get some of the exact plants I needed, and it didn't cost me anything. So it's nothing that took a lot of time. It was advertising it, letting people know about it, sticking out a few tables, letting people come, put out their stuff, and then trade with each other. It's really easy to do, not a lot of work involved, but big benefits. So we have quite a few people in the community who are all set with their plant starts for gardening this year. And then we also really want to touch on the necessities and quality of life for our patrons. So again, going back to our demographics, there are people who don't make a whole lot of money in our community, and we want them to have the things that they need, but we also want them to have good quality of life and to be able to enjoy things as well. So there are a couple different ways we do this. One is our partnership with BABE of Wabash County. This is a really awesome organization that provides everything, food, baby food, formula, diapers, clothes, bottles, car seats, anything you can think of for children under the age of 5. And parents can get these items for free by earning BABE bucks. So if they come to a storytime program, they take their child to the wellness checks, if they take their child to the eye doctor, there are a number of things that if they have their child involved in, each time they go, they'll earn BABE bucks. So storytime attendees earn BABE bucks from our library and then can go and spend them at BABE of Wabash County. So I did reach out to Katie Till, the local director. She said these are privately owned. There's no central hub, but she did know of like Whitley, Warsaw, South Bend, some places like that in our area that do have BABEs. So it's definitely something worth looking into. She didn't know how many more might be in this state, but you may be able to do some Google searching in your area and see if there's a BABE in your area that you could partner with It encourages people to come to story time to get their kids involved in those early literacy activities, and then it helps them because they can earn bucks to spend on items that they need. Our winter and summer reading programs are a big area where we try to hit those necessities and quality of life too. So for our winter reading program, we had dozens of local businesses donate things. So Anytime Fitness, for example, donated a 6-month membership pass. The lady who ended up winning that has Parkinson's, and she said the only thing they know that can help slow the progression is exercise. She said, so I have to go to the gym and work out if I want to keep, living my life to the fullest. And she was the one who won that, which was so exciting. Booker's Auto Detailing gave a $100 gift certificate so someone could get their car detailed. Several of the places in town donated free oil changes. Our friends in the library donated non-resident cards. CVS Pharmacy donated a $20 gift card. We just go around to these different businesses, explain what we're doing, and ask if they would donate some kind of gift certificate. This has been really awesome because some of their smaller, like local stores, they can't necessarily donate hundreds of dollars, which is kind of what we need for our summer reading program, but they can donate a $20 gift card. And this has really encouraged a lot of reading with our adults because they want to win these things. River Ridge Farms donated $35 so people can come and get fresh produce, whoever won that. Our local thrift store made a $15 gift certificate donation. Neighborhood Fresh, our local grocery store, donated 5 $20 gift certificates. Anything our local businesses want to give us, we can then put in our Beanstack app, and people are able to read during winter reading, put those tickets in, and have a chance to win a really great prize. And then for summer reading, for our teen and adult prizes, we have section prizes. So when you reach a certain level of time spent reading, you can earn something. And we've done different things over the years, but we decided let's do something that's useful and that also supports local businesses. So tier 1, they get a $5 coupon to a local business like one of the bakeries or ice cream shops. Tier 2, they get a $10 gas card. And so we've been able to support the local businesses who support us by buying those items from them. Also encourages people to see how much our community does have to offer and to shop local. And it's something that can really help a patron. And then experiences. So I feel like our library, we kind of have like a fear of missing out for our patrons on Overdrive. And I'm sure many of you are the same way. We're always thinking, okay, what can we do for them next? What more can we offer? So we try to offer those fun experiences too. Last year, we were able to get Dusty the horse to come. This is a local guy who owns this really sweet horse and gave horseback rides to the kids around the library lawn. And one mom came up to me and told me, the Fort Wayne Zoo doesn't have the pony rides anymore. My little boy, that was something he looked forward to every year. And he was so disappointed this year that he wasn't going to get to ride the ponies. Because, and then we come here and you have the horseback ride. So he got that part of the summer back, which made me so happy. Live music, we have a local guy who loves to go around town playing his guitar. So he'll come to our events and play music, and the little kids, they'll be dancing around to it. It's not something that we typically get much of here in town, live music. So it's, again, one of those experiences we're able to provide for our patrons. We've been able to go through the Community Foundation of Wabash County to get some grant money. And there are many community foundations all throughout the state. So those are a great resource to apply for, like their Doing Good or their Good Neighbor type grants or their Fine Arts grants. And we have an artist, Hannah Burnworth at Milk House Studios, who's going to be doing a 3-part series this summer of art classes. Typically, the cost for her classes could be probably averages around $50 for someone to attend. That's not something that's doable for many of our patrons. It's definitely worth it because she's an amazing artist. But with this grant we were able to get from the Community Foundation, they were able to cover the cost of that. So we're going to have a number of patrons who are going to be able to take these really amazing art classes at no cost to themselves. So just looking for those different opportunities, different avenues to fund things for your patrons at no cost to them. And then we have a local ice cream parlor, Grand's Ice Cream. They'll bring free Philadelphia water ices, usually a couple times a year, to our summer programming. So again, sometimes for some families, ice cream is a treat and not something they get to have very often. And with this partnership, we're able to offer it to everyone who shows up that day for the library program. We've also had petting zoos come in as well. Again, there's the closest zoo is 45 minutes away. So it may not be giraffes and elephants, but my goodness, those kids loved interacting with those goats and bunnies and had a great time doing it. We also were able to get through the ARPA grant from the state an Aftermouse touch play table. And these are fantastic because it's interactive games, multiplayer, everything from bubble pop to racing to trivia games. There are about 18 different games on here. And it's really good for kids who have that interaction. They're playing together. For kids who maybe can't get on the internet and play games, this is an option for them. They have a way to interact too, so they get that experience. And we've been able to have Spider-Man come in. Our theme last year for summer reading was superheroes. So Spider-Man showed up several times and got pictures with the kids. Again, we're a really small area. We don't get Comic Cons and things like that, which are super cool. We would love to have, but we have a local teen who has a really amazing costume, and he was so generous to donate his time. So, finding people in your community who can assist and help out with things like that and provide kids with these really awesome experiences that they wouldn't get otherwise. And then one of our favorite local food trucks, Tacos Los Gordos, they'll come to several programs each year. They're always a big hit with our patrons. Again, the area where we're at, we don't have a whole lot of food trucks. They're so much fun. And I was really excited that we were able to work it out to bring them on site for some of our special programs so people get to enjoy that atmosphere. So I want to open it up for any questions or ideas anyone may have. Before we get to that, I will mention I'll be sharing this with Beth so she can send out. I do have a resource list. So the Indiana State Library has a great page on grants for libraries, where we got our touch play table, who we got our flat playground from, the Crazy 8s Math Club, free, Garden Lessons for Kids, free, Money Monsters, free, Purdue Extension Office, free, outdoor seating for recycled caps and lids, huge savings, Babe of Wabash County, which can help you track down your own local Babe, Future Farmers of America, other ideas for looking local, like food trucks, food stands, area businesses for funds for summer reading, small local businesses for coupons and gift certificates for winter reading. Our winter reading program costs us nothing. We don't spend a dime on it. Everything is donated. Community Foundation of insert your county, local greenhouses and gardeners, seed companies, service groups like Kiwanis. So I'll make sure you have these slides so you've got some ideas for places you can look around for things. All right, any questions?
And it's just FYI, if you're watching this recording in the future, I will put that resource list with the recording on the State Library's website. So it will be there as well. And I'll make sure it gets sent out to everybody. I'm going to stop the recording, Sarah. And then we do have a couple questions we can address here while other people put theirs in the chat.
All right, perfect.